crafty people. Happy Woolly Wednesday and happy January 20th. How are you all? I have a lot of feelings. We're going to get to that in a second. I do have a lot of nitty stuff to share with you today. I have several whips. And I have a new start planned, so I have some plans I'm going to talk to you about. I don't have any stash to show you. I don't have any new purchases that have arrived for me to share with you. Excuse me, but I do have a bunch of stuff that I'm working on to show you. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But first, and here's your warning, I'm going to talk about current events. I'm going to talk about what today is, what today means, what I feel. So if you're not here for that, that's totally fine. Skip ahead. And certainly if it's going to damage your mental health in any way, if it's going to affect you detrimentally, to affect your mental health detrimentally, please skip forward. Your mental health, your well-being are very, very important to me. I love you. I care about you. You matter. So if this is going to be damaging for you, then please skip ahead. Please, please, please. That's much more important to me than you listening to whatever I have to say. So, okay, that's your warning. Come back when the nitty stuff is happening if this is not your bag. So today is January 20th. Today is Inauguration Day. And I have a lot of feelings, a lot of feelings. Some are good. A lot are less good. I have this sort of ache in my chest because I have so much anxiety right now. So, I'm going to try to keep it short and to the point, because I'm not trying to make any of you all more anxious. But yeah, I'm nervous. I'm very happy that there's lots and lots of security in Washington, D.C. I'm very happy that there's military to protect our incoming president and vice president. I'm very happy about all that, but it makes me nervous and it makes me sad that any of that is necessary. I don't know that anything on this scale has ever been necessary for an inauguration before. And that's a shame. It's a shame. And there are so many things that I could talk about and I could unpack. In fact, I've done it in a couple other iterations of this, but it just boils down to, I'm so sad that this is where we are right now. I'm so sad that even though the majority of us recognize that there are things that are wrong that we want to change and we want to move forward in a different direction, even though the majority of us are unified in that, there's a very loud minority that feels very, very differently. And not only do they feel differently, they feel justified in committing violence to express their feelings. And as much as I want today to go forward peacefully and without trouble and without violence, I want all of that. As much as I want to have today go off without a hitch and to breathe at the end of the day, I don't know that I will be able to breathe for a while. I don't think I'll be able to stop holding my breath, because I am concerned that even if nothing happens today, something might happen tomorrow or next week or next month, because I don't know that the people who are wrapped up in this ideology that our former president has created, I don't know if these people are going to calm down. I don't know if they can be diffused anytime soon. So I don't think we can let our guards down for a long time, and that makes me very sad, because if that were not happening, if that were not part of the reality right now, today would be an incredibly hopeful and optimistic day. I am so looking forward to having an administration that seems to actually care about human beings and America as a nation, and making things better instead of just doing whatever they feel like doing. And I will say yesterday I think was probably the first and clearest example of how different the new administration is compared to the old administration. So for today is the anniversary of the first case of coronavirus in the United States. Today Exactly a year ago today, the first person was diagnosed with COVID in the United States. So for the last year, our administration has pretty much ignored and or downplayed or pretended like this pandemic didn't matter, that the people getting sick and dying didn't matter, that the most important thing was the almighty dollar. The economy was more important than human beings. That's been how the previous administration has handled this pandemic. The new administration, before they were even elected to office, the eve of their inauguration, they put together a memorial for the people in America who have died of COVID. And that's the first time, I'm trying not to get emotional, it's the first time that those people have been acknowledged at that level. And it's deplorable. Almost 500,000 people in the US have died of this disease. And the first time they were acknowledged by the people who run our government was on the eve of the inauguration of the new administration. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, the fact that the day before they were inaugurated, that was the thing they wanted to participate in, shows me that this administration will be much different than the previous administration. And I'm certainly not trying to deify anybody in government. All of these people are at their very core human beings, and as human beings, we are all imperfect. So I don't expect them to make changes that happen immediately. I don't expect for President-elect Joe Biden to be elected to be officially put into office and then suddenly the country's fixed. That's not how these things work. But I have so much hope for the direction of our country going forward. And I will say this too, that I find Vice President-elect Kamala Harris to be a huge inspiration. When I hear her speak, it makes me feel the same way that I felt when I used to hear President Obama speak, when he was inaugurated, when he came into office, that overwhelming hope and joy and optimism that he brought with him, the things that I felt when he was in office, she makes me feel those things. And I haven't felt that way. I've been so disenfranchised for the last 4 years. It feels good to feel something other than anger and sadness. And can I just say, since I'm already upset anyway, or not upset, but emotional, the idea of having a female, a woman, as the Vice President of the United States, I wish my mother could be here to see it. She helped lay the groundwork that made this happen. My mother did. And I'm so sad she can't be here to see this happening. Anyway, so like I said, I have a lot of feelings. Today's going to be a very emotional day. I'm going to be exhausted by the end of the day. I can tell you that, but yeah, so to boil it down, too long didn't read. I'm nervous. I'm a little bit afraid, not just for today, but for the near future. But I'm also cautiously optimistic. I'm hopeful. I am anxious to see our country move in a new direction. Maybe not a new direction, but a more positive direction, certainly than we have the last 4 years. I'm anxious to see us getting to be the America we think we are, moving towards that. Because I think as a nation we have a lot of potential, and we just need to do the work. We need to do the work, all of us, especially white America. We need to do the work on ourselves and on our country to make this the America we believe it is for everybody. So that's where I am with that. I don't know if I'll leave all of that in. We'll see. That's a lot. Okay, give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. Cleaned up a little bit. I think I feel a little bit more comfortable getting a little bit more vulnerable with you folks, because I think the folks that watch Knitcast are like my diehard, closer family kind of people. I think I get a lot more viewers on FlossTube who may or may not like be really into it, but I think my Knitcast viewers are a little bit y'all get me. Because I think you're really here for me as much as the knitting, because I think a lot of you don't even knit. But I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you all. I hope you know that. And for my friends who are here in the US, take care of yourselves today. Whatever that means to you, make sure you take care of yourselves. And for those of you who are outside of the US, I know at least one of you is dealing with some kind of nervous-making governmental stuff in your country too. I'm hoping that's going okay. I'm hoping that it's not giving you too much anxiety. We're all dealing with a lot right now. Because as if, all of these changes, the way that things are going down is all difficult enough. It's weird enough. It's strange enough. But then we have the pandemic on top of it. And the pandemic here in the US has literally been going on for a year now. It's so bizarre to think that it's been a year. It's been a whole year. Yeah. It's a lot. Let's all just take a breath together. Okay. Today's going to be okay. We're going to be okay, one way or another. So, let's talk about knitting now. So, I've worked on a bunch of stuff. I'll show you the first thing because you can already see it. So, I've been keeping up really well with my temperature shawl. So, I'm really proud of myself for that, because I have trouble keeping up with things. But doing, I basically do 2 rows of this in the morning. Yesterday was the first morning since I started that I actually didn't do it. I got sidetracked with work stuff, and my day started earlier than I expected, and I didn't end up knitting this. So I actually did 4 rows today. But usually what I do is as I'm fixing my breakfast and listening to my news briefs and having my coffee, I sit down and I look at what the temperature was for the day before, and then I knit 2 rows to cover that, whatever that temperature was. So this is for January 1st through January 19th, because today's the 20th. So that's what we have so far. You can see we got a couple of days that are above 52 degrees. That's the green. We have this 65-degree day. I need to weave in this little yellow end. And then this purple down here, I figured I probably wouldn't get a chance to put much purple in here. So I preemptively, as I did the startup to get this going, I just did that in purple so that I knew I had some purple in there. So that's what my temperature shawl is looking like so far. As I said, this is a super simple pattern that I got off of my Karen cake. And it's literally just you knit 2, you yarn over, and then you knit to the end, and then you turn it around and you knit all the way back, and you just do that over and over. So it's real simple. It's a nice kind of meditative thing to do first thing in the morning. I'm enjoying it. So that is that. Today might be warm again today, warmer. So we might have another row of green. We'll have to see. At some point, I might start doing a single row instead of going back and forth. But if I have to change the color, it makes it a little wonky to weave in the ends, because I like to use the Weave and Steven method. If you're not too familiar with that, oops, let me not get my needles in the coffee. So you might be able to see some of these areas where it's thicker, like right here, is where I've woven in an end as I knitted. And it just makes it cleaner and you have fewer ends to weave in. And especially with something like this, weaving the ends as you go is such a lifesaver, because can you imagine 365 days, you know there's going to be some ends. So I enjoy weaving those in using the Weave and Steven. That's a Stephen West method. He is on YouTube, and you can find other helpful tips and stuff. He is the designer of the Slipstravaganza shawl that I will be making at some point with those fantastic Asylum Fibers colors. Speaking of Asylum Fibers, I'll talk about that later. Okay. So yeah, there's my temperature shawl. It's looking like a cute little triangle. So there's that. I also worked on my inauguration, not my inauguration. I worked on my Empower People bandana, and I had wanted to work on this and actually get it finished, but I didn't get that far. I'm not sure. I have probably at least 2 more inches that I need to knit on this. So I think this little marker here is probably about where I was the last time I showed it to you. I worked on this a little bit this weekend and then some again last night, but as I said, I have at least 2 inches, if not more. I have to look at the instructions and see. I think this side, this curved side, needs to be at least 18 inches, but I also have to see how big my neck is. My neck is a bit bigger around than the average neck. So I want to make sure that this is going to be comfortable and slouchy, as slouchy as I would like it. So I may need to knit even more on this, but I really wanted to have this finished so that I could wear it today, while I was knitting my another thing that I'm going to talk about. But yeah, I doubt that's going to happen. I might knit on it some more, but at this point, it's a bit too late. But once I get this done, I have a feeling I will wear it a lot. And I'm happy. I think I've got at least 1 more skein of this. And it's, I don't like the stellina, the way the shiny bit kind of sticks out everywhere. It's a little bit frayed looking to me, but I do love the drape of this yarn, the fabric that it makes. I love that drape. So I may well make some other kind of cowl or scarf or something out of the rest of this that I have. I gifted, I think, 2 skeins of this to one of my Secret Santa folks, because I had a lot of this. A lot. But yeah, we're getting closer. So I may, as I have time, I may do my temperature shawl and then make sure I'm doing a couple rows on this every morning as well, so that I can get it done, so that I can start wearing it all the time. Because not only is it purple, but it reminds us that we need to continue acting. We need to continue being active in creating a better society, making the changes that we need to make this a better place for everybody. So that's the thing I need to do. So I worked on that some. I also worked on we're calling it SlowCAD. Actually, they were calling it SlowCAD from the beginning, and I only just picked up the acronym. SlowCAD is Secret Life of Cats and Dogs by Casapinka. So this is the Advent pattern that I have been using for my Ruby and Roses yarns. And I got a lot of work done on this since last time we talked. I think I was probably in this pink. Oh, I just started the gold, this yellow gold section. Let me get it on camera here. So I obviously I finished the yellow gold. I did this red section that's ribbed. I don't know if you can tell. You probably can't tell. The color's a little bit blown out. But this red section is ribbed, and I have started section 8. Which has some really interesting stitches that I've never done before, so I've been kind of like procrastinating. I'm fairly certain I know what I need to do. It's just a matter of actually sitting down to do it. So maybe tonight I will get on that. We will see. But it's coming along very nicely. And I am definitely going to be using the leftover bits for my next project. So Yeah, so that was Secret Life Cats and Dogs. So, plans. I'm going to cast on today, probably shortly after I get this uploaded, because I'm gonna knit on it during the inauguration. I have a new pattern. Well, it's not a new pattern. A re-release pattern from Casapinka. This is. Let me hold it over here. This is. If I can get the camera. Please pick this up. The camera's like, no, it's too dark. Okay. This is Inauguration Celebration. It was originally released as Inauguration Consolation because Casapinka released this 4 years ago when a certain someone was inaugurated. But now that he is out and we are inaugurating President-elect Joe Biden, it is a celebration. So I am starting this pattern today. And you can probably see, it is, it's designed for 3 colors, but as I mentioned in a previous Knitcast, I'm actually going to use all of this is going to be a scrappy scarf for me. I'm going to use all of my little bits of all the everything from here on out to go into this scarf. So I'm going to start with the projects I finished first last year, which are I should have gotten them out to show you. I never did do a finish parade for 2020. But the first thing I finished, I think, was my mixtape cowl. And I had forgotten I have a ton of this gray yarn. So that was the main color. And then I also have I'm just making sure that these are all the, these are, I was thinking I had leftovers from my mini skein infinity scarf, but I do not. I forgot that I used all of that. That was the whole point. So these are all the other colors I have left from the mixtape cowl from Paisley Pearl. So this was a set of minis she called Sweet Dreams. So we've got this like dark maroon mauve kind of color, a lighter pinky, green and blue, and that speckledy white. So I've got all these to start with. I'm also going to weave in my my leftovers from the white elephant that I already have. So there's like 4 of those, 5 of those, something like that. And then as I'm finishing up, I may wait until I finish Slow CAD before I actually start using the leftovers, just because some of the colors are used before they actually show up in their sections. So I want to make sure that I don't need more of that color before I start using those extras. But this is a good start, especially because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with these colors, and then I'm going to knit with this for a while, and then I'm going to bring in other colors. So at least that's the current plan. I may not stick to that, but that's what we have so far. So I have plenty of yarn to get started. I may not use too much of this because this is a good amount of yarn to use for something else, and it's a nice neutral gray. So I might use just a little bit of this and mostly stick with scrappy bits for my inauguration celebration. But my thinking there, if you didn't watch the previous video where I mentioned this, my whole reasoning for doing a scrappy shawl for inauguration celebration is because I really wanted to celebrate the fact that America is supposed to be a melting pot. It's supposed to be full of different people of different ethnicities and cultures and colors and everything. So I really wanted to celebrate this idea that that America is full of hope and color and vibrancy. So I'm just going to use all the colors. I'm going to use everything because that's what America should be. It should be all the things. It should be all the people and all the cultures and all the wonderfulness. So that's why I'm doing a scrappy shawl for inauguration celebration, and I will be starting that today, which I'm really, really excited about. So that's it for my whips and for my immediate plans. I do have a few really awesome things coming. I don't know how long it's going to take, but so I mentioned Asylum Fibers earlier. I just got my shipping notification. I ended up ordering their Advent Color mini skein set. So if you liked those four colors that were used in the that were originally the four color version of this was designed for those four colors. I'm now getting the mini skein set that this was designed for, to use for an advent set, and it's like this fantastic cosmic rainbow, and I'm so excited. So I just got the shipping notification for that, I also got my shipping notification for my first installment of the Little Things mini skein monthly thing. Words today. It's from a shop in Germany called Little Bishes Stitches, and that's Bishes, Bishes Stitches. It's a shop that Heike turned me on to, and I thought it was really cool. She has a really, considering it's coming from Germany, she has an incredibly inexpensive annual price for her monthly yarn club. So I want to say it's 125 euros for 12 months, and you get 5 20-gram skeins of your choice of base, and then a 50-gram skein, I believe, of a mohair blend. So that's a lot of yarn. It's a lot of yarn, and you get 12 installments of that for 125 euros. What? What? And then she offers free shipping worldwide for an order of that size. Like, what? I'm concerned for her because I feel like she's not making money off of this, but I'm there for it. I'm here for it. So my first installment of that has shipped. I'm super excited to see what that's going to be, and I know it's going to kill Heike to not spoil it for me when she gets hers, because I know she's going to get hers way faster than I do. So yeah, shipping notification on that. That's probably going to be 3 weeks, 4 weeks, who knows. Yeah. What else? Also, I believe that the Golden Girls Yarn Club from Lady Dye Yarn should be here, or should be shipping soon. I think it's shipping at the end of the month. So yay. So yeah, there's lots of stuff coming. I'm super excited. And then I think I have, there's a forbidden, yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming. I won't even try to sit here because I could be here all day trying to remember what all I've ordered. The point is that going forward, there should be lots of stuff to show you for yarny stuff. So, yeah, so those are the plans. Those are the whips. I hope that you are doing something fun today. If you're here in the US, hopefully you're watching the inauguration with me. Unless that's going to cause you lots of mental distress, in which case, take care of yourself. In any case, take care of yourself. Do what you need to do to maintain your mental health, and make sure that you're well and safe, because that's important to me. So I think that's it for me today, y'all. I'm going to try to do my best to take care of me. I'm going to make sure I drink plenty of water. You should too. I've already taken my meds for the day. You need to take yours if you haven't already taken them. And as always, let's remember that good enough is good enough. And I'll see you again next time.